Alexa, open WikiHow.
Okay, here's WikiHow. Hi, ask me how to do anything.
How to take care of snails.
How to care for snails. To care for snails, start by providing them with a tank that is well ventilated and has a lid that can be securely fastened so the snails don't escape. Then, line the tank with moist peat or soil and replace it at least once a week so it stays fresh. Next, add objects to the tank for the snails to climb on and hide under to keep them active and happy. Additionally, leave a cuttlefish bone or eggshells in the tank to provide the snails with calcium. Every few days, provide your snails with fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as a small dish of water for them to drink. If you would like each step read out in detail, say read steps.
Read steps.
Step 1. Choose a snail tank. Snails need to live in a moist environment free of danger, and it's easiest to facilitate their needs by setting up a home for them in a glass or plastic container. The container you choose should be well ventilated and escape-proof. It should be large enough for the snails to live comfortably, and portable enough that it's easy to clean often. Consider these factors when you choose a container. Snails need plenty of space to move around. A container the size of a small or medium fish tank will usually work. If you have more than one snail, or if you have giant African land snails, which are larger, consider getting a tank that's around 30 to 40 liters. Be aware that this species can grow up to 20 centimeters in length. Snails can lift 3 times their own weight. This means the container you choose must have a lid that can be securely fastened, rather than weighted down. Snails need plenty of ventilation. Don't choose a container that's airtight. If you use a plastic food storage type container, poke plenty of small holes in the top. If you can, cover any holes with mosquito net. This helps to keep any pests such as fruit flies or earwigs out while keeping your snail safe and secure. Snails need light. Don't use an opaque container. Find a clear plastic or glass container instead. Snails can eat through cardboard. Don't choose a container made of materials that are easy for snails to chew up. Make sure you don't leave the terrarium in direct sunlight as this can cause your snail to dry out. To continue, say next.
Next.
Step 2. Line the tank with substrate. Recreating the type of terrain that snails naturally live in is crucial to keeping them healthy and happy. Make sure the substrate is sterilized and pesticide-free. Digging up dirt from your yard won't work, since it may contain substances that could harm the snail. Here are a few different substrate choices. Loam. This is a loose substrate that retains moisture well but also drains efficiently. If you want to include live plants in your tank, make sure you choose a loam that is conducive to growing the plants you want to grow. Humus. Also referred to as compost. This is a nutrient-rich substrate that provides nourishment to both the snail and live plants. Peat. Snails like to live in peat, but it can also be home to pests, so don't use it if you're worried about bugs living in the tank. Potting soil. This is a cheap option that is ideal for snails to burrow in. Be sure to choose one that is labeled pesticide-free. Coir. This is a cheap substrate that is a popular choice for snail tanks. It holds moisture well, but it is prone to harboring mites and insects. To continue, say next.
Next.
Step 3. Add features to the tank. Snails like to crawl, explore and hide, so make them happy by including interesting objects for them to climb on. Avoid hard objects made from ceramic and heavy stone, since snails can slip on these and damage their shells. Choose some of the following options. Wooden sticks and branches. Sticks made from durable wood are available for purchase at pet stores since they're often used in aquariums for turtles, snakes, and amphibians. Cork bark. This is a soft substance with hollow areas that provide a great hiding place for snails. Resin. This is a heavy yet soft material that is perfect to use as a food or water tray. If a snail falls on this material, they won't damage their shells and they can't overturn the dish either. Plants. Choose live plants that do well in the same climate snails thrive in. You could also choose plastic plants, which are easier to keep clean. To continue, say next.
Next.
Final step. Create the right climate. In addition to having a tank that's well ventilated, snails also need a warm, moist environment. They do best at temperatures between 19 to 25 degrees Celsius, 66 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, but they are usually fine at temperatures that are slightly higher or lower. The substrate at the bottom of the tank must be kept moist at all times. If you're concerned that your snail might get too cold in a certain room, consider buying a small heating pad. It should only cover about 2/3 of the floor of the tank, so the snail is able to move away if it gets too hot. Keep the substrate moist by spritzing it, and the snail, with water every day. Use purified, spring or distilled water to ensure the snail stays healthy. If you aren't able to obtain these, leave normal tap water in the sun for 48 hours. This breaks down chlorine, ensuring your snail's safety. Okay, you've reached the end of the article. To hear it again from the beginning, ask how to care for snails. Or, you can ask how to do something else. What would you like to do?
Exit.